WeWork failed, but not the way most companies fail. In 2019, it was valued at $47 billion, the world's most hyped startup, celebrated by investors, worshipped by Silicon Valley, plastered across every business magazine on the planet. And yet the company was losing more money than it was making, every single dollar. The man running it, smoking weed on private jets, selling the word "we" to his own company for $5.9 million, and somehow convincing the smartest investors in the world to hand him billions. This is the story of the greatest con in startup history. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how one man convinced investors a loss-making office rental company was worth $47 billion and walked away with $1.7 billion even after destroying it all. Adam Neumann was born in Israel in 1979. He moved to New York in 2001 with almost nothing, bouncing between failed business ideas for years. Baby clothes with knee pads, collapsible heels for women. Nothing worked. Then, in 2010, he co-founded WeWork with Miguel McKelvey. The idea was simple: rent large office spaces, divide them into smaller shared workspaces, and lease them to startups and freelancers at a premium. Flexible, community-driven, modern. But Neumann didn't sell office space. He sold a religion. His pitch to investors wasn't about desks and Wi-Fi. It was about elevating the world's consciousness and making a life, not just a living. He was 6'5", magnetically charismatic, and absolutely convinced he was going to change the world. Investors believed him. Because when Adam Neumann walked into a room, you believed him too. SoftBank's Masayoshi Son met Neumann in 2017. Their first meeting lasted 28 minutes. Son wrote a $4.4 billion check, the largest investment in a private company in history at that point. His reasoning? In a fight, I want to be on the side of the crazy guy. The money turned Neumann into something dangerous, a founder with unlimited resources and zero accountability. WeWork expanded to over 100 cities worldwide. The valuation hit $20 billion, then $35 billion, then $47 billion. But behind the scenes, the numbers told a completely different story. In 2018, WeWork generated $1.8 billion in revenue. Impressive, except they lost $1.9 billion doing it. The company was literally losing more money than it made. Every dollar that came in went out and took another dollar with it. And Neumann, he was buying private jets, throwing parties, serving tequila shots to employees at 9 a.m., and quietly doing something that would eventually destroy everything. Here's where it gets truly insane. Neumann had personally trademarked the word "we," just the word "we." Then, he sold that trademark back to his own company for $5.9 million of investor money. He was literally charging WeWork to use its own name. He also became a landlord to WeWork, buying buildings personally, then leasing them back to his own company at a profit. He was on both sides of the same deal, paying himself with the company's money while telling investors the company was growing. Then, in 2019, WeWork filed for an IPO. For the first time, the public could see the financials. What they saw was catastrophic: the losses, the conflicts of interest, the corporate governance that made no sense. Investors revolted. The valuation collapsed from $47 billion to under $10 billion in weeks. The IPO was pulled entirely. WeWork needed $3 billion minimum from the IPO just to survive. They got nothing. The board had seen enough. In September 2019, Adam Neumann was forced out as CEO. But here's the part that makes your blood boil. SoftBank, the same company that had lost billions following Neumann's vision, paid him $1.7 billion to leave. $1 billion for his stock, $500 million in credit, and, unbelievably, $185 million in consulting fees for the man who had just destroyed the company. Meanwhile, WeWork laid off 2,400 employees with almost no severance. The people who had believed in the mission, worked 80-hour weeks, given everything, got nothing. The man who caused it all got $1.7 billion and walked out the door. In November 2023, WeWork filed for bankruptcy. The company once valued at $47 billion was worth essentially nothing. But here's the most insane part of this entire story. Adam Neumann, the man who drove WeWork into bankruptcy, tried to buy it back in 2023. After destroying a $47 billion company, losing thousands of jobs, and walking away with $1.7 billion, he offered to repurchase WeWork out of bankruptcy for $500 million. The offer was rejected, but the audacity alone tells you everything you need to know about Adam Neumann. Some people learn from failure, others just look for the next deal. The lesson: a great story is not a great business. Neumann didn't fail because he lacked vision. He failed because vision without accountability is just delusion with better marketing. The most dangerous founder in any room isn't the one who doesn't believe in their company. It's the one who believes so completely that they forget to make it actually work. Subscribe to Venture Files for more such blueprints of power.